everybody, and welcome back to the Girl Be Selfish podcast. I am your podcast host, Chanel McCoy, CEO and Clinical Director of Oasis Wellness Group. I am also the editor in chief of the Girl Be Selfish Anthology Project. I am a conference host, I am a speaker, and just all around lover of mental health. And I'm super excited to be back with you all today. As you know, this series, I am interviewing my 20 authors that were a part of the Girl Be Selfish Anthology Project. And I'm super excited because today I have another one of my esteemed authors here with me today. And we're going to be talking about her chapter in the Anthology Project, her journey in self-care, and all of that good stuff. But before I jump into that, I just have the question of the day. And y'all already know what the question is. Why have you not gotten your copy of Girl Be Selfish? If you have not gotten your copy yet, listen, I need you to run over to one of my authors' websites and I need you to get your copy today. We're going to make sure that you have information for my esteemed guest today, and we'll jump in on how you can get a copy for her. But listen, you must get a copy of this. As we are rolling into beautiful weather, as the summer is approaching us, it is the perfect time to learn how to lean into your self-care. And this book is going to help you to do just that. And so let's go ahead and jump in. I want to introduce to you all Miss Paula Anderson. Welcome, Paula, to the Girl Be Selfish podcast.
Hello. I'm happy to be here.
It is wonderful to have you. Do me a favor.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about who you are. Tell everybody what you do, who you are. Just give us some nuggets.
All the things, huh? Yes. All the things. Okay, well, I'm Paula Anderson. I am a life coach and a grief strategist. By profession, I'm a social worker. So I've been working with families and people and youth forever. And what brings me here is I had to dig into my own self-care after a season of being a caregiver for my husband during an extended and protracted illness. So I had to kind of get back to who am I and what do I do to refill and to fuel me. Yeah, so I was excited to be a part of Girl Be Selfish.
That's really good. I love that, especially as a caregiver, right? There's a lot of people who are in that role now. We are in a generation where there's more caregivers than there ever have been for many different reasons. Sickness is on the rise. I find that there's just a lot of things. I won't even get into that. That's a whole other podcast topic for another day. But we are in a season of there being more caregivers than there ever have been before. And so I think that's a great way to segue into like your self-care journey. And so first of all, what led you into your self-care journey? And give us your personal definition of self-care.
So my personal definition, I would guess, would be, what is it that you do to kind of refuel and to re-energize? What are the things? And it's different for everybody. Some people it's just basically, it could be a nap. It could be just having some quiet time, being able to sit in a quiet space. For me, I think I'm energized by people. So I was always one that if I could get out to go somewhere, that was very, rejuvenating for me. Mm-hmm. And during my caregiver experience, I couldn't go out. It was during the pandemic. I couldn't go out. Even if I were able to go, I was always afraid that I was going to go get exposed and then bring things back home. So I stayed home. And so at the end, when it was time for me to get back to the things, I had to kind of figure out, okay, so what is it going to look like? How am I going to get my things back on the schedule? Because we were going to the doctor, we were doing treatments, we were doing a whole lot of other things, but I wasn't keeping my appointments. I was making sure my husband got to his, but I wasn't doing my routine maintenance. So I had to get back to that. I had to not realize that it wasn't selfish for me to kind of put the mask on first. I had to put the oxygen mask on myself so that I could be there for my husband, for my children, to do the other things that were my responsibilities to do. So that was kind of the beginning of it. For me.
Yeah. When you say, your self-care journey, self-care for you is rest and rejuvenation, I always love to ask that question because self-care really means a lot of different things to a lot of people, right? And I think that that is the point of the anthology project, to kind of prove the point that it's gonna look different for everybody. And depending on what season you're in, it's gonna look different, right? Because
Yes.
your season of being a caregiver, I can imagine self-care looked like it meant one thing. But when you came out of your season of being a caregiver, now it's just like, okay, self-care looks like, and it's something else for me, right?
Yes,
And you're able to access it differently depending on what season you're in, right?
for
You brought
sure.
up the pandemic, and I think that that's a huge example right there, because during the pandemic, for most people, self-care was those outward things. It was going to hang out, it was
Hmm.
going to a restaurant, going to a movie, going to
Yeah.
the spa, but then the world shut down
And
and
now
you
you're
couldn't
home.
do
Yeah.
anything, right?
Yes.
So everybody was forced to redefine. So does that mean that I don't ever good self-care? Because remember, when we first went
Hmm.
into this thing, they told us it was going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was
2 weeks turned into
and
a
it's
literal
almost
2 years,
seemed like
right?
2 years, almost 2 years,
Exactly.
right?
And so it's just like we literally had to redefine what that was for us in
Mhm.
that season. And it was a lesson for the world that we got to pivot when
Yes.
it comes to self-care, when it comes to taking care of ourselves,
So true.
When you came out of your season of being a caregiver, how long did it take you to find your flow and
Mhm.
establishing self-care for self?
I think it's still a work in progress. I mean,
Okay.
some things I did right away, some things I did right away because, like I said, I like to go. So I took a lot of trips. I would go visit. I went to visit family. I did that probably at least once a quarter. I was
Okay.
catching a flight somewhere. And in reality, I was really just running away from home. I didn't want to be home.
Okay.
But but I would say it took me about 6 months to kind of figure out, okay, what am I going to do now? Now that I have much more time on my hands,
Mm.
not wanting to sit in the house. Now, I'm not really a television person. I'd had enough of that during the pandemic. So I wanted to go out and get out into the public, get out with people. So I went out, I met new people. What did it look like for me? I scheduled those appointments that I had skipped.
Mhm.
I joined a new church. That was part of
Mhm.
my
Yes,
getting
you
out,
did.
joined a new church, met some new people. And what I will say that did for me was, I got to be someone, not someone different. I'm still myself, but I got to meet new people who are meeting me for the first time. So it kind of
Mhm.
helped me to explore. Okay, so now what am I about? Because there are no children with me. They didn't know nobody really at my new church knew my husband. So I wasn't part of a couple there. I'm just me. And so
Mhm.
I got to explore some new things, go some different places.
Mhm.
What else did I do? I'll tell you one thing that I added. I did a breath work exercise. I've never done that before, but I
Mhm.
think I'm going to add that. Looking
Mhm.
at my health a little differently. Just doing the things I need to do and following through. As I was writing my chapter, I found that there were some things I was telling other people to do that I hadn't done
Come on.
that I
Come
need to
on.
put in.
Let's talk
So,
about that.
just in full transparency, there were some things I knew were good,
Mhm.
but I wasn't doing them. And I'm still working on that. Still working on getting
Yeah.
a good night's sleep, going to bed at a decent hour because I'm a night owl. I will stay up snacking, eating, playing, talking on the phone, playing on the phone. And so I have to do some things differently. If I want to get a good night's sleep, I got to go to bed. I got to eat
Yeah.
better.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
yes,
so those were
yes.
some of the things for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I feel like that has been this consistent conversation in most of my podcast interviews across the board. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I was given all these good nuggets on self-care. And I realized I'm not following the nuggets. Like
Mm-mm.
I realized, it brings me back to as a therapist, I talk about all the time, my own self-reflections and then even those that I'm supervising, on their way to licensure, we
Right.
talk about all the time. put that oxygen mask on.
Yeah.
Like we give our best to others. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong like in helping people, right? We signed up for this
Mhm,
work. We,
mhm.
as a life coach, you sign up for the work to
Yes.
help people to have a better life, right? But
Mhm.
it's like you are more effective at what you do when you have lived it. When
When you
you
do
are
it.
a living
Yes.
witness of the work
Yes.
that you were
Yes.
telling other people to do, because then you can speak at it from an authentic place.
So
I can
true.
speak at it, I tell people all the time, I have a BC and an AD of being a therapist, a before
Okay.
Christ and a what they call it after death of
After
being a
death. Yeah.
therapist, right?
Mhm,
And for me, BC was I would talk at my clients.
mhm.
Like I would talk at them as I'm the therapist and what you need to do. And in many respects, if I think about it, I'm like, that's a condescending way to go about it until life hit for Chanel.
That's what I was gonna say. Until you
When
experience
life hit
something.
for Chanel and I find myself having severe clinical anxiety and balled up in a corner because of a tragic miscarriage I had, right? Then
Mhm.
I found myself having to sit on a therapist couch and staring, on the other side of the couch. And when I came back and bounced back from that experience, I was a different therapist because
Mhm.
now I'm talking with my clients, right?
You were
I'm
more
in the ring
empathetic.
with them.
Yeah. You had
Exactly.
some empathy.
So that is a running theme. Why do you think we do that? Why do you think it's easy for us to give the good stuff away from a point of helping others, but we know we're not following it ourselves?
I think we're human, we're human and we will
Mhm.
give ourselves an out. I'll set the alarm and say I'm going to go to the track in the morning and 6:30 will come and 6:45 and I'll say tomorrow. I know for me, I'm better if I know somebody else is going to be there because I don't want to stand the walking partner up. So I
Mhm.
kind of put that person in place so that we both are kind of each other's accountability. But I think we give ourselves an out, or we say, I don't have to do it every day, or I don't have to be. We just don't force ourselves to be as consistent. Sometimes
Mhm.
I'll have to pay for a service, pay someone to do something so that I'll follow through. If that makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I don't know why we do that, but I think it's part of just being human.
Yeah.
We have good advice, but and we know the right thing to do, but we don't always do it. We kind
Yeah.
of have to
Yeah.
prompt ourselves to do better for us
Yeah.
because we deserve it. We should
You're
be
right.
investing in
Right.
ourselves
Right.
and
Right.
spending the time doing the good things for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love when you say that. And it's like a perfect segue into your chapter. But, doing the things and investing in ourselves is not being afraid to what I've learned with me, if I'm going to take care of myself, sometimes I have to force myself to do something that requires an investment. So I'll show up.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yes, I
Like
do.
I
I
have to
do.
force myself into, and that's why, I love my gym. My gym is quite the investment. It really is. It's
Okay.
not I go to, but
Mhm.
because I know I'm like when I was paying $10 a month,
You just oh, well. Yeah,
listen,
you just don't go.
those gyms got so much money out me over the years for me to not be showing up and
It
using
was
it.
a donation.
Yep.
Mhm.
But now I'm paying $100 a month for my gym.
So you're gonna show up.
And I
Yeah,
show up,
you
and
gonna
I
show up.
have been for 4 years
Yeah,
consistently,
yeah.
and now it has just become a part of me. So sometimes making those investments even enforce you to make sure that you're engaging in self-care.
It
So I
does.
love that.
It does.
So with that, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, so with that being said, perfect segue. Why don't you introduce us to your chapter title and then give us some nuggets? What is your chapter about? Don't give it all away because they
Don't give
have
it
to
all
get the
away.
book.
Okay, so my chapter title was You're Worth the Ish, Investing in Yourself. And one of the things I have kind of 4 points. She told me don't give away the ish. But the big one is cultivating a positive mindset. Cultivating a positive mindset. And there are a number of ways that I like to do that. One of
Mhm.
it is being with people who have good things to say. I cannot
I love that.
I can't fill my mind and my ears with negative. I don't watch the news all day. I'm not watching everything that's wrong with the world. And those aren't the folks I'm listening to. I
Mhm.
like to hear some positive messages. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm engaging with other people who are engaged in positive conversation, because I do believe thought life makes a difference. What we think about, we bring about,
Absolutely.
and I just don't have the energy to be dwelling on the negative. So that's one thing. So I definitely am seeking after happy. I want happy life, happy place,
Mm,
things that kind of bring joy. And, I do believe that that's important. That's one of the things I talked about in my chapter. I talked about how do we replenish and rejuvenate. And it's different for some. My husband
mhm.
used to tease me because I could be exhausted, ready to go to bed, telling him, oh, I don't want to do the dishes. I don't do things. But let somebody call me and say, you want to go to the movies tonight? Let one of my girlfriends call and say, hey, can you come out for cheesesteak or cheesecake? And I would literally get up out the bed and get dressed. And he'd say, I thought you were so tired. I thought you were going to chill for the night. I said, no, I think I'm going to go out. I have some energy. I'm energized with interaction. So for
Mhm,
me, I kind
mhm.
of build that into my life, that I have things to do. At least one weekend out of a month, I'm doing something, and I plan it that way. As you know, these last few months has been more than once out of a week, one weekend out of a month. But I will kind of make that a conscious effort on my part to do
Yeah.
something that brings joy and refreshes. I did add massage to my life. Oh, mm, massage used to be a vacation thing. When we were on a vacation, I would splurge.
Talk about it.
And now, as I was working on the chapter and thinking about my self
Mhm,
care, I said, I think that's something I'm going to add. I think I'm going to add that month, at least once a month, get a
mhm,
massage. And
mhm.
now I'm trying to figure out how can I make it twice a month, because it is just good.
Yeah,
It's just good, good, good.
yeah,
It refreshes me in a way that I cannot, explain. In addition to just feeling better physically, there's just something very calming and relaxing about that. So
yeah, yeah.
that was
That's
something.
interesting you say that because I am on a twice a month regimen.
Oh, yes. It's coming.
I'm
It's
on a twice a month regimen, and like you, it's like basically, I guess you can say I'm on a membership. It's
yes, yes.
yeah,
I did,
I'm
yeah,
in
because
here
it's
twice a
just
month because, like you said, I love how you said there's certain things we only did because you do that when you're on
I'm
vacation
gonna
or
treat
whatever the
myself.
case is.
Hmm.
Exactly. Well, it's like, why
Hmm.
not treat yourself all the time? Like, why
Yes.
not make this the regular? And it's funny because now that it has become such a regular part of me, when I do go on vacation or different things like that, I'm
Hmm.
looking to do other stuff. I'm looking to
Yes.
go on other adventures because it's just a normal part of
That's
who
the
I am
norm.
in general and taking
Hmm.
care of me. So I love that. And I loved when you said seeking after the happy.
Oh yeah, I have to. Because if you don't, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing? And kind of reacquainting myself with what, I've always said I'm not very artistic, but I was listening to some of the other folks and I said, maybe an art therapy class might be fun, because you know, I don't I don't consider myself artistic. I appreciate art, and
Hmm.
I like to pick and choose what I like, but I don't feel like I'm an artist. But
Right.
I
Right.
think it might be something fun to do, something,
Yeah.
a new
Yeah.
thing, a
Yeah.
new exposure.
I love that. I love that. I tell people all the time because a lot of people don't even know that those options are available. You got dance and movement therapy, you got art
Hmm.
therapy. Like there's all kinds of different things that you can explore rather than just the traditional what we normally do,
Yeah.
And that goes for every area of our life. There's so much out there. One of the things that I encourage my clients to do all the time, especially clients who are, it has been announced actually by the attorney general that the new epidemic that we're in is loneliness.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can see it. I can see that.
People are lonely. And so one of the things that I'm always encouraging people, find a hobby. Go find a knitting class that you go to every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 and that's your time and something you do. Find
Yeah.
a dance
Yeah.
class, just expose yourself.
I think that's the key. I think people, they want those things, but they don't know that they need to, you have to seek it. You have to go for it. I'll talk to people and they'll be upset because their kids aren't calling or people don't call them. And I say, well, you have a phone.
There
You
you
can
go.
initiate the call.
There you
You
go.
can put out the invitation. And if not, like you say, go to new places and meet new people.
Go to new
Do
places and
new
meet new
things and
people.
meet new people, because
Yeah.
you're going to have what you go after. If you're going to sit at home and flip the channels and wait for somebody to come knock on your door, the only thing that's going to happen is the mailman's going to come. But
Come on.
that's about it. You have to be proactive. So I think that's very important to
Yeah.
keeping yourself busy, keeping yourself engaged, and finding new things. I think it makes the difference in your mindset for sure.
100%. And so I gotta go back because we can't
Uh-oh.
just read over it. You said you're gonna have what you go after.
Oh
That
yeah.
is probably the notable
Oh yeah.
quotable of today's episode. Okay. If
Yes.
you are listening, go run somewhere and write that down, tweet it, put it on Facebook, and make sure that you tag Paula Anderson, because
Oh
that
my
is it
gosh.
right there. You're
It's
gonna
true.
have what you go after.
Yeah.
If you do, it's happiness is not going to show up on your doorstep.
It's not. It's
Rush
not for
and
sure.
rejuvenation and replenishment
Yes.
is not going to meet you in your car when you get
Nope.
off of work.
Nope. You got to go for it.
You gotta
You
go.
got to go for it.
Yeah.
As you
And
can see, I'm natural, so I don't worry about, it's the funny thing, like, well, will you go swimming? Will you be out in the rain? Yes,
mhm.
yes. I'm not worried about, what my hair is going to look like. If I want to go swimming, I'm going to go swimming. If
I
I'm
love
just
it.
caught in the rain, I just get caught in the rain.
I
But
love it.
go after, the joy, go after it.
I love it. And so what you just literally described is taking away excuses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm
think
natural
that's
now.
important. Huh?
So I'm natural now. So the things that would have
Listen,
stopped me before, no,
right.
they ain't stopping me now. If I get
No,
caught in the rain, then I'm caught in the rain. If I
caught in the
want to take a
rain.
dip in the pool, I'm gonna take a dip in the pool, Getting
Yes.
rid of all of the excuses that hold us back from going after the happy. I love that. I think that is such an amazing way to put it. And as one who is a part of this new church that you joined,
Yes.
and even watching your journey over the last couple of years, you
Mhm.
truly have not been afraid to do the things that you want to do
Yeah.
and investing in
Yeah.
yourself,
Oh,
whether
definitely.
whether that's the investment of time, whether it's the investment of finances, or all of the
Mhm.
above. When Paula wants to do something and Paula feels like it's a fit for her, Paula is doing it.
She's
And
going
I
to it.
love that. I love that. And I'm trying to let me say this the right way because I don't want you to be mad at me. But being a woman of a certain age.
Oh, listen, this
Did
is
I say
age is good.
that the right way?
Yeah,
Okay.
listen, age is no problem, because I feel like this. If I don't want to get older, guess what? Then I'm not going to be living. So
Mm,
my idea is that I can age without being old.
I
There's
love it.
there's a young old. I'm a young old.
I
I can
love it.
age without being old. I can age and still use my computer and still find the things, and I have friends that stretch me. I have some friends that will stretch me to do things like jump on StreamYard and find my way in the apps, and I have all those things going on.
Mhm.
But I feel like if at this age, okay, so my mother died at my age. So
Mm,
okay, so I already feel blessed. I feel blessed, and I'm looking forward to what am I going to be doing at 75? What am I going to be doing at 85?
mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I do feel if you don't have a vision for what your life is going to look like, or what you even want to do, whether it's travel or make new friends, meet new people, if you have no vision for it, then nothing's going to happen. If
Yeah.
my vision for retirement is that I'm coming home to sit in the recliner to watch the soaps, I may as well keep on working. Just like no, my vision is when I
Mhm.
come home, there's going to be other things for me to do, whether it's
Yeah.
some ministry somewhere, some mentoring somewhere, I don't have any grandchildren, but I like other people's children. There's going to be something for me to
Mhm.
do. Not going to be coming home to sit here. I don't bake. I don't cook. I'm not trying to be Big mama. That's not me.
I
I'm
know
the
that's
little
right.
old lady that's going to be taking a trip somewhere. My kids are going to be like, "Where are you at now? What are you doing? Who are you with?" They've tried to track me now, so I can only imagine in 10 years or more
What
they're
that's gonna
really
look like,
trying to
right?
track me. But yeah, so age is that's what we're aspiring to grow old. Otherwise, we're
Mhm.
dying young. And I think
Mm,
my mindset about it is I lost my father was 49 when he died, way
mm.
too young. My mother, like I said, was my age, but my grandmother died before I was even born. So I have an appreciation for a birthday, and mine is coming up, and I'm ready to celebrate it every
I
day of the
love
month.
it.
When I
I
get
love
off with you, I'm going to go to something
I
for
know it's
sure.
right.
Yes, my
I
birthday is
love it.
Saturday, but I'll be doing something. It's just it's amazing to me when people are like, "Well, don't talk to me about being old." Well, do you want me to talk to you about being dead, not being here anymore? Like, you
Come
better be
on.
glad for that birthday. Be happy for that birthday.
Yeah, that's such good
You know,
perspective. I love that. I love, and it's inspiring to me for being younger, not being, yeah, younger.
Mhm.
It's inspiring to me because there is this thought process that as you grow older, you sit down, you're on a recliner, you settle on the couch,
Yeah.
you become, like you said, big mama,
Here's
all
my
the kids
goal.
and grandkids come here or whatever. And I'm like, is that really what I
No,
want for myself? Or do I
no.
want to be jet setting? Do I want to
I'm
be on
looking for the
somebody's
trip
plane?
to Europe. I'm looking for the trip to
Yes.
Europe. So that means I got to be able to walk 10 miles in a day because
Oh,
all you're doing is walking. So,
I look at
those are the
that.
preparation things. My
Yeah.
son's been teasing me. He said, "You got to stop eating the bacon." Well, I don't know if I'm going to stop eating the bacon, but I do know that I need to be healthier. I've been, for the first, you asked me, what did I do after my caregiving? I started ordering food. I was eating all kinds of stuff, and I've kind of had to pull back from that and start cooking some healthier meals and eating better because I can't be eating all the fried foods and all the things that are out there. But and here's something I did though. I paid to have someone do some meal prep for me. And what that did was they prepared salmon, they prepared chicken, they
Mm-hmm.
prepared the vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
and I paid the money. And I said, you know what? I need to not be so lazy. I could make this myself because and spend this money on something else. But I do know that if I'm not going to do it, I need to get somebody to prepare the things
Come
and
on.
make the
Come
life
on.
easier.
Yeah,
You know,
I talk to people all the time. One of my business coaches got a coach for therapy, and one thing she talks about all the time is outsourcing.
oh
She's
yeah,
just like, we got to find ways to reclaim our time. And when you outsource and you need stuff done, yes, it is money going out, but it's an investment. If
it
I
is.
know I don't have the time or I just really don't
Don't.
want to do the meal prepping, then
Mm-hmm,
I'll pay for
mm-hmm.
somebody to do it. And guess what?
Yeah,
Now the meals are done. Now it's easy
yeah,
for me because I could just
I
pop it in the
know.
microwave and I'm guaranteed to be eating healthier because it's done.
Because it's done. Yes, and I won't
You
be
know,
tempted. I won't be tempted to stop and get
right,
the fast
right.
foods.
And as your chapter tells us, it's not an expense, it's an investment
It's an
in
investment.
yourself.
Yep,
It's an investment in yourself because the return on that is my time.
my time. Yes, and my health.
Yep.
Being better.
Yep.
Being better.
I love that. And I love, like I said, having this outside perspective of, you said something that really struck me when you were just like, even going to a new church, nobody knew me as Paula of then. Right. And so
Mm-hmm.
I got to fully walk into the newness of what I was
Yes,
reinventing myself in. And that's how everybody has interacted with me. So it's almost like
it's
it
different.
helped you along on your
Oh,
journey as
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
It definitely has been a growth experience for me, and a stepping out because, like I said, used to traveling in a party of five. When you're married, you got your spouse, you got your three little children, and they grow up, and everybody knows you. And
Mhm.
now they're adults, so they're in their own life, and I need to have my own things because otherwise, I'm I'm dragging the 30-year-olds and making them come
Yeah.
hang out with me.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do that. They got their own
Mm-hmm.
stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good for me to do something different, to be
Yeah.
someplace different.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love it, and I love it for you.
And it was a connection. It was very organic. It wasn't like I came looking for that. I
Yeah.
came to do something else.
Yeah.
And it's just been real good. It's just been
Yeah.
real good. I can't even explain it. It's been real good for me, to be there. It's been good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Paula. You are you're teaching us, those of us who are a little younger, those who are of a certain age, you're teaching us a valuable lesson. And really, age is just a number, and it really doesn't matter. Go out there and live your life. Like, that's what I get from you. Your self-care.
Live while you're living. And I think Irma Bombeck used to say, and I'm going to probably mess it up, but it was something like to leave the whole dance on the floor. So if you're going to dance, leave all of it on the floor. And I want to really use every gift and talent, all my time, talent, and treasure to live life the best that I can for as long as I can.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, Miss Paula, thank you so much for being with us here today. Can you tell the people, if they want to contact you for life coaching, get any of your services, or to get a copy of the book, how can they do that?
They can do it all at my website, www.livingonpurpose. You can schedule an appointment there. You can purchase a book there. I have some other books there that you can see. And, it all goes through the website. www.livingonpurpose.com.
Yes, so we will make sure that all of Paula's information is in the show notes so that you're able to easily access her. Make sure that you get in touch with her, follow her, and all the amazing things that she has going on. And make sure you get your copy of Girl Be Selfish. Learning to embrace your rhythm of self-care. That I know it's right. You better have a copy right there in front of you. So listen, make sure you get your copy. Paula's chapter is number 3, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yes.
So you'll be able to get her chapter, but there's so many other wonderful nuggets in the book. So make sure you get your copy. I want to thank you all for listening today. I hope today's episode was beneficial for you. I hope you picked up something out of it. And if nothing else, you learned that you have to seek after the happy. Listen, I'm going to hold on to that one for myself. Seek after the happy.
Yes.
Live your best life. Age is nothing but a number. Make sure that you leave it all on the dance floor, as Paula has said. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited because I'll be back with you all with yet another episode. We still have more episodes. We still have more out there. So make sure that you stay tuned to the Girl Be Selfish podcast. Listen, make sure that you let people know that we are on Spotify and we are on YouTube right now, but we are working on the other platforms. So stay tuned as we work on getting that up and running. Please like, subscribe, leave us a review, and remember, as always, to stay selfish. Love you all, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.